Now let's talk about the very basics about star schemas. And the reason I want to talk to you about star schema basics, and it feels maybe like I'm going a little slow or I'm kind of beating this into your brain, is because I really want you to understand the absolute fundamentals of data warehousing and not get caught up in the intimidation that the topic seems to bring up in people. When I've taught data warehousing in live classes, everybody comes in feeling like they're about to be exposed to like nuclear fission or something, and it's nothing like that at all. So let's first of all answer the very simple question: what is a star schema? It is the simplest form of a database structure that we use in a data warehouse. Notice DW, I'm referring to data warehouse. Now, a star schema is simply a different structure, a different setup, a different style of database that holds the exact same data that we had out there in our online transaction processing database. We may just summarize it differently. We may change the look of it just a little bit, but it still means the same thing. And this star schema is going to answer the basic question: what happened, who did it, when did they do it, and any other kind of measurements that we want to see around the action that happened. Now, a star schema, when you see a fact table with dimension tables around it, and I'll show you a picture of one in just a moment, you're looking at a star schema that's part of a data warehouse. Now, a lot of people will refer to this collection of a single fact table with the dimension tables around it, all those connected entities, they'll refer to those as a data mart, M-A-R-T. But anyway, this data mart or the star schema is going to focus on one single business area. And what advantages does this kind of structure, of course talking about a star schema, give us? Well, it separates all of our data about any one particular business area or any one particular part of the business that we want to measure. It separates that data into two main broad categories. Number one, the fact. How many got sold? How much did it weigh? Anything like that. And then surrounding the facts are dimensions, or a better way to think of dimensions are measurements or descriptive information about the facts and about how the fact happened, when it happened, and so forth. Okay, what is a fact? We have a fact table. What's in the fact table? Simply a measurement of what happened. A product that got sold, a customer who bought, the weight of the shipment, the length of the shipment, anything that usually is numeric and we can measure. A dimension, and you'll also hear these referred to sometimes kind of erroneously as attributes, because some dimensions are attributes, some aren't. But a dimension generally is an attribute that describes what happened pertaining to that fact. When was the product sold? Was it sold on a certain day, a certain date, in a certain year, in a certain quarter, on a certain day of the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, on and on and on? Where was the product sold? Was the product sold in a particular city, in a particular zip code, on a particular floor, by a particular person, in a particular state, region, hemisphere, however you want to break that out? And we'll talk about getting down to the breakouts a little bit later on. But this is a very, very simple representation of what a star schema looks like. This table right here in the middle would be our fact table. And notice, I don't know if you can read it on here, it's a little blurry, but the fact that we're concerned with here, that we're measuring, is units. So we've sold, however many units of something, and then we have a product dimension, I don't know what this is, a customer dimension, a time dimension. And so we've got all these different ways to look at the time, and we can look at these particular units for each row in this table of units for different aspects of the time of when those units were sold. And same thing with customers and product and so forth. So that's really what we're going for. We're going to take the data we have, rearrange it, drop it into this form, and then query it and get a lot of really useful information out of it very, very quickly, very, very easily. And so this is the very basics about a star schema, and we will certainly dig into this as we go through the course.